On one of my recent posts on Instagram, someone commented MSc in Food Science and Technology or MBA in Agribusiness Management for Agriculture graduate. And I have also got some comments on my channel that what should we do after B.Tech or what should we do after B.Sc? What are the possible options for a graduate in food technology? To answer this question, we have a special guest from the Foodtech Club for the first time in the history of this channel. The Foodtech Club is one of the interactive blogging websites for the students, enthusiasts, and professionals of food science and technology. Our special guest today is a PhD candidate at the Washington State University, a food science communicator, and not only a content writer but also the administrator behind the Foodtech Club. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the very first guest on the Foodtech Simplified Debomitra Day.
Hello everyone, how are you doing? Thanks for having me here on your channel today, Areeb, Foodtech Simplified. I'm really glad to be here and I am going to answer the question that has been asked by most of you. That is, what can we do after B.Tech or B.Sc in food technology? So I think this question strikes to your mind only when you are in the process of choosing a career field after your 12th, and second is when you're about to finish your bachelor's degree. This is when this question strikes your mind. So I would give a very simple answer to this is that you have two options after your bachelor's. Either you can go for further studies or you can apply for a job. These are the two simple options that we have. And now if you want to do something different, of course you can. If you want to change your field of study or something, you're free to do that. But these are the most conventional ways that people will of course always advise you. And I would also say that those are the two paths to choose. So now there's one misconception that people have that the food industry has just two kinds of job. That is either in the quality side and R&D together, they are always counted as together, and the other is the production part of it. But I would say that no, the food industry has more to offer you. So it's also based on your personality. You have jobs. So for example, if you're good with marketing and you have really good communication skills, you can probably go for the techno-commercial sales profile in the food industry. If you're good in innovating products or you have a very fast, you have great ideas, you have great idea generation skills, you can of course get into R&D. Or if you have very good knowledge about food technology and the food industry and food science, so of course you can fare very well with quality. If you have a very good aptitude towards engineering, production or chemical engineering, then you can really fare well in the part of production. So now there are also people who love to do something on their own. So you can start your own company. So before doing that, I would suggest that it's better to take some experience from the industry, learn how actually the industry works, and then you can go ahead and do something on your own. And I'm sure you'll be more successful like that, because in the meantime, you can create contacts and, know people, know from where you can get raw materials and sourcing of stuff, which is a very important part of it. So I think that again, it's not that it's just restricted to those two parts, but we have a lot to offer. So the main thing is that you should talk to people and read a lot about what exactly is happening and how the industry dynamics are. That would really help you to learn more about it.
Absolutely correct. And some students may also be confused that in which department they should apply for a job. Whether they should go for research and development, whether they should go for quality department, whether they should go for production department. If you're really confused that where you should apply for a job, then I would recommend to apply for a job in the department which interests you. A job that interests you initially. And initially, whenever you are starting, when you are fresher, then I would recommend not to focus on the salary packages, but to focus on gaining the skill set and gaining the experience. If you choose a job that matches with your interest but not with your salary package, take that job and gain that experience, because experience matters a lot in the food industry. If you think that you don't know what your interest is exactly, then I would recommend to take as many internships or trainings as possible in different departments of different food industries. And for some reason, if you cannot take internships or trainings in different departments, then I would recommend to at least pay a visit, at least visit that department, at least visit that food industry by talking to your faculties or the administrators of your college. Go and have a visit at the food plant. So in that way, you will be able to understand that what are the things going on in a food industry and how things work, what are the different tasks and what are the different departments and how do they correlate in a food plant or food industry. But what if you want to go for higher studies?
So now, if you really want to pursue higher studies, I would suggest that if you really want to get into research, or if you want to study further or get a PhD, or work in a research lab or work with the government labs, then definitely you should go for a master's degree. So either you can go for a MSc degree or a MTech degree. MTech you can do only if you have a B.Tech degree, and if you have a B.Sc degree, you can go for a MSc degree in food technology, food science. There are other options also. So you have other specializations like food safety and quality management, food technology, food biotechnology. So depending on your choice of courses, you can select these courses. And the other thing is that you can also go for PhD, and there are some colleges who offer bachelor's. I mean, after bachelor's you can directly go for a PhD if you have really good academic standing. So that helps you to get into your PhD and save some time and earn your degree very soon. If you see the company dynamics, what I have observed with my personal experience, I'm not saying that it's the truth, but I'm saying what I have seen and observed, that most of the food industries, they prefer taking B.Techs as compared to MTechs. And if you compare, the salary scale for MTechs and B.Techs are similar, which even I have experienced it. Even I had an MTech degree and I was working in the industry and I was getting the same pay scale as B.Techs. So I know that. So it really doesn't help if you want to get in the industry by doing MTech. But I would suggest that if you really want to be in the industry, taking a MTech degree won't matter much. It wouldn't help you a lot. So I would say that based on your future aspirations, you should be very clear that whether you really want to be in the industry or really want to be into research or academics, then you should go for a master's degree.
That's true. If you have made up your mind that you want to go for a job in a food industry, whether it is in the production department or the quality department, and if you are sure that you don't want to go in the research and development department, then just after graduation, just after B.Tech or B.Sc, I would recommend that go and apply for a job. And this is because after masters, there is not much difference between the salary package of a master's student and a graduate student, unless the masters has been done from a very reputed college. And rather than going for masters, if you are really sure that you want to go into the food industry, then I would recommend, rather than going into the masters, go for experience, go for the food industry, apply for a job. And right now, in the current scenario, not only the degree, the graduate or the postgraduate degree matters, but also the experience is considered a lot of the times in the food industries.
So there's another angle to it. So even in today's time, we also have MBA degrees in food technology. So there are some universities and some colleges in India like NIFTEM. NIFTEM provides courses in MBA with specialization in food technology or agricultural business management, something of that sort. So if you're really interested into that, then you should consider doing a degree, get an MBA degree in marketing in food technology and food science, which would really help you to learn a lot more about the market and develop your skills, because it's very important to develop your interpersonal skills with your personality, which would help you make a better person and also a better person at your job. So if you really, I would say that if you really follow your passion and if you really follow your aptitude for a particular thing, then you can really do well in your job. And also there are other job profiles in the food industry called like the business development executive, where it's very necessary, it's very important that you understand the technical side of the food industry and also the market side. So it's always good if you have some knowledge about how the product is, how well do you know the product, then only you can sell the product. If you don't know your product well in the industry, for example, if you're selling jams, if you don't know how your jam is made or what is the raw material for making your jam, then how would you sell it to people? So it's very necessary to know what the process is and how it goes through, what are the quality parameters, microbiological parameters, because that's very important. What is the shelf life of your product? So if you know that and you go to sell it, so that gives your standing more, so people will be more convinced that your product is really good. There's another part of the food industry which a lot of people don't talk about, that is writing in the food sciences, because the food industry is highly misunderstood by people. So for example, processes like radioactivity, or I would say irradiation of food, is highly misunderstood by people, or microwaving of food. These concepts are really misunderstood by people. Even in India today, a lot of people avoid using microwave to heat their foods, because they think that there are some rays entering into their food which are carcinogenic and stuff like that. So through writing into food science, we can try and break these myths and change the way people think, because until and unless we don't do that, so if you're learning something and if you're not sharing your knowledge, it doesn't make sense. So it's always good that you learn something and then you share it with the world, so that even they learn better how your industry works. So since in TFTC we try to do that a lot, that we try to break the myths and we try to educate people about food and what exactly food is. And also we try to address the issues of food wastage, which is very important, because we waste a lot of food each day everywhere, like in restaurants, even in shops, even in supermarkets, we are just wasting food. So we try to address and we try to just pinpoint those issues and try to create awareness, which we are doing on our part. So I would suggest that you could also read some of our articles on TFTC, where we talk about the careers in food sciences, that it's not necessary. We also talk about the unconventional or the alternative careers that you have in the field of food industry. Areeb can link those to the description, so you can just check the link below and just go to our website and just read the articles, and I hope it really helps you.
And Debomitra, what if someone wants to pursue MS or PhD from foreign universities, just like you are pursuing?
So I really think, Areeb, that's a very interesting topic, and I think we can talk about that in the next video, where we could just tell people how to go about with applying a master's and PhD abroad. So like all YouTubers say, I would also say that please hit the bell icon and subscribe to Areeb's channel, Foodtech Simplified. And also you can follow us on TFTC. So Areeb has linked the handles to our Instagram and Facebook pages. And also you can visit our website, that's thefoodtechclub.com, to know more about what we do, and also keep following Foodtech Simplified for more videos on simplifying food technology. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you.
So these were some of the options that you can go for right after B.Sc or after B.Tech in food science or in food technology. If you have any kind of doubts or queries, feedback, criticism, let us know down in the comments. We'll be happy to reply you. I will see you next time. Class dismissed.